In this episode, the new Ford Mustang, the 2024 Mercedes AMG C63, and KTM is breaking out a new track day monster. Welcome to episode 120 of the We Are Auto Show. What's up, Derek?
Mr. Michael Rowell, there's a hurricane coming.
There is.
Uh-oh.
And actually, I think by the releasing of this episode, the hurricane has already came
You're right.
all over us.
Oh. Yikes.
Shouldn't have said that. Whoops.
Hopefully, we're not gone.
Yes, so hopefully you have episodes coming next week. We're going to find out.
We'll see.
Maybe it'll sweep me away to Road Atlanta. It's not going to.
No.
But shall we get into some news?
Sure.
Okay, so let's start with a Ford.
Okay.
How about the new Mustang, as a matter of fact?
Okay.
Have you seen any of the pictures and the articles and all of the things that are circulating around the interwebs?
I actually have not seen any of this.
I'm really quite surprised because it's been quite viral, as the youth might say.
What happened? What did I miss?
Well, it's new. That's
new-
what happened.
A new Mustang?
It looks like a Camaro.
So they released a new Mustang.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So they revealed the new Mustang. They don't have all official numbers in terms of pricing and horsepower and stuff like that, but I do have some things to chat about. So this does make me quite excited, seeing as how even though it does look a bit like a Camaro, it is the last of the muscle cars that is kind of remaining a muscle car.
What do you mean by that?
The Challenger, it's going EV. Charger being melded into the Challenger EV, right? The Camaro, that's going to be turned into an EV passenger car, right? So,
Mustang Mach-E, hello?
but the actual Mustang is rear-wheel drive with a manual transmission and a V8.
Yeah,
Okay, that's a muscle car.
I agree.
It's like the last of the actual muscle cars.
Mm-hmm.
So, the new one maintains its muscle carness.
Still got the manual.
Still got the manual. It's only offered on the V8s, though. You don't get the manual on the EcoBoost,
That's fine.
which is fine, because the
Yeah.
EcoBoost drivers are usually women that don't usually like to drive a manual.
True.
I'm just saying. I'm
Hot
just
takes all over the place in the intro of this one.
saying. Yeah. And to boot, this is still only rear-wheel drive.
Solid.
So it's a muscle car still. It is still an actual muscle car. Agree?
Okay. Yeah.
So let's talk about the looks before we get into engines and things. What do you think? Like
Sure.
it, love it, want some more of it?
The front and the rear do look different enough that you can definitely tell that this is a new Mustang. The headlights, I don't know yet. I really want to see one in person. Initially, it was, okay, I guess. How about you?
Initially, it was okay, I guess, as well. But the more I see it, the more it's starting to grow on me a little bit.
Okay.
I'm not violently repulsed by it.
Yeah.
I do see the silhouette of a Camaro. It looks very much Camaro.
Yeah.
Like,
You're right.
I've seen
Ooh.
actual like side-by-sides,
Oh,
and it is just a Ford Camaro. is
from
what it
this
is.
side angle, I see Camaro. From the back half, it is all Camaro.
And the front half too, in my opinion.
Well, muscle cars are muscle cars.
They look the same.
Right.
Right. That's like you saying all 911s are the same.
Mm-hmm. They are. Mm-hmm.
So, let's go a little more in depth here. So, you still get a base 2.3 liter EcoBoost, so the turbo 4 pot, right? Then, if you step up to the Mustang GT, you get a kind of little bit of a tweaked, reworked 5 liter Coyote V8, which is the name of it, which is same as you get in the current Mustang GT, right? You do get a little bit more horsepower. It's not stated what it is, but you are supposed to get a little bit more horsepower than the current Mustang GT.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so it's a new car. You would imagine you're going to get more power, right? That's just kind of how it goes. And it is still naturally aspirated, that big 5-liter V8. Woohoo!
All right.
Now, with there not being any official horsepower numbers yet, they have actually teased a hot version of the Mustang GT, like a hotter Mustang GT. And it's called, you ready for this? The Dark Horse.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
They should have called it the Headless Horseman.
All right.
So, the Dark Horse is... it's like, in my opinion, it's like they haven't released a Shelby GT 350 of the new Mustang. It's called the S650 generation.
That's what I was about to ask.
The current generation is the S550. The new one's going to be the S650.
Okay.
So there's no Shelby yet, right? So the Dark Horse I'm trying to picture would slot between the standard Mustang GT and then the future Shelby.
Okay.
That's kind of where I'm picturing the Dark Horse to slide.
So they're putting the stair steps in the ladder.
I think so. I think so.
Which is a good marketing decision.
Mm-hmm. Now, the Dark Horse, they are saying they're aiming for 500 horsepower. Lots of horsepowers, right? And it is supposed to be a track-focused version of the Mustang. So a bit lighter, a bit stiffer. You can get it in a 6-speed manual, or they're extraordinarily many speeds, 10-speed automatic, which is just stupid. And this does come, this Dark Horse, you can option it with carbon fiber wheels, and also you can add like some fancy Recaro seats and things like that, as well as really, really sticky Pirelli P0 Trofeo RS tires. So it's kind of trackable.
Yeah, it seems very trackable, very drag raceable, which ideal.
It seems drag raceable, and it actually surprisingly seems road courseable.
Kinda, yeah.
Right? Fully independent front and rear suspension, right?
Yep.
It's kind of like Ford, like muscle car / dare I say, sports car? Maybe.
Interesting.
Maybe. So there will be doing a performance pack as well that goes on top of the GT and the EcoBoost. So you can add the performance pack to either of them.
Okay.
So the performance pack includes a front tower brace, a limited slip diff, wider wheels and tires, Brembo brakes, and some fancy active MagneRide suspension stuff, as well as on the Mustang GT with the performance pack, you also get extra brake duct cooling and engine oil cooling stuff. Okay. So kind of cool. And then also those Recaro seats, like I said. Now, one thing I'm really, really stoked about for this new Mustang, it comes with the picture we're looking at right now. That is a love handle. It is an electric parking brake. It looks like a regular handle, though, doesn't it?
Yes.
Stay with me. This fancy electronic parking brake was developed with the help of a professional drifter. Vaughn Gittin Jr. actually helped develop the new electric parking brake or handbrake, if you will, for the new Mustang. And they state that it functions like a manual handbrake when you're just parking at, the grocery store, but it transforms into an electronic drift brake in track mode. And it has different modes that allow you to, like, as a novice, build up your drifting skills and such. And I'm sorry, but that's freaking sick.
Okay.
I like that.
I like the idea of it.
I like that a lot. How many more Mustangs are we going to find in a ditch?
Yeah, that's where I was going.
You're going to be able to find rebuilt title S650 Mustangs in 12 seconds flat. Literally the very first thing that's going to happen. Someone's going to buy one, and they're going to go, ooh, look at this. And they're going to say, do I want all of the help, or do I want none of the help? And they're going to say, I'm a man. I want none of the help.
Watch this, babe.
Exactly. And then he's going to say, honey, watch this. And then as soon as he buys the car, as he's exiting the Ford parking lot, he's going to give that thing a little tug, And then all of a sudden, he's going to crash his new Ford Mustang into the Ford sign and total it within 12 seconds.
Wonderful. Give Mustang drivers more ways to slide sideways into crowds. Fantastic. Awesome.
Oh, it's almost like Ford knows what's going to happen there.
Yeah. In reality, it's a cool idea. In practicality, it's going to be used for the wrong things.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It's oh so right, but oh so wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. One more quite annoying thing that this new Mustang has is it's got a remote rev function. So you can press a button from your key fob and rev your car. The owner of the car will do that everywhere. As a passerby, it's gonna be the most annoying thing in the world because it will be inevitably bought by someone that's quite childish. Me.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as someone is walking by my car, I'm just gonna go, and they're gonna jump out of their skin.
Every Cars and Coffee now is just gonna be.
Oh my god.
They already do it. The muscle car gang is already the ones
Honey,
that are
where did
revving.
I park my Mustang? Let me listen for it.
Get your V6 Camaro and go rev it to 5,000 RPM. It's redline. Oh,
it's too much fun.
damn it.
It's so childish, this new Mustang.
I mean, they're appealing to their audience.
It's got a serious side, but it's also got a very, very childish side.
This is gimmicky enough that it will work with that crowd well.
Oh, 100%.
Yes.
And I love it for that.
Yes.
That's why you get it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just fantastic.
I think they did a good job here. Do you think it's the last one?
I think that is TBD, depending on how this one does.
Okay.
I think they're going to ask themselves that question 2 years after this comes out, and they're going to say, if it's selling like hotcakes, we'll do another. But if all the young people don't want to be childish V8 owners, then they'll probably kill it.
I can't see it not selling like hotcakes. Can you?
If there's enough people that think the V8 is like the spawn of Satan, then sure. But I hope it sells.
I don't think that is the community that's buying this is either the parents have a lot of money, you just got into high school or just came out of college, or the drag racing crowd. I don't think that the drag racing crowd wants the EV, clearly.
No.
But the ones going into college or coming out of college, I don't know about that crowd.
That's what I worry. That's what I worry.
I do feel like it could be the last one, but this won't be the last send-off. They'll do a special model.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure they will, yeah.
And we'll probably get the 500, the Cobra, all that kind of stuff.
We'll do a super hot version of it.
Right.
But that's the new Mustang, the S650, or the 2024 Ford Mustang.
Neat.
So shall we move on
Let's do it.
to something that I'm not very excited about?
Okay.
Something that did kill its V8.
Okay.
So the first little bit of news was saving the V8.
Mm-hmm.
The second little bit of news is killing the V8.
In what is the
In
question?
a Mercedes!
Okay.
The new C63 AMG. So this is another 2024 model year car, the Mercedes AMG C63. It is no longer a 4-liter twin-turbo V8, which is the whole point of buying an AMG Merc.
Yeah. This one specifically kind of hurts.
That's why you buy a Mercedes AMG, because it has a great big giant lumping V8. It's Germany's muscle car.
Mm-hmm. The C63 AMG specifically was just an absolute monster.
Yeah, especially 2 iterations ago when they had the C63 AMG that had the 6.2-liter naturally aspirated V8.
Yep.
That jackhammer Mercedes AMG noise was just intoxicatingly good.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's being swapped out for a hybrid 4-cylinder turbocharged.
Ooh, that hits hard. Oh,
Yeah, I don't like that.
straight to 4.
Yeah, you go from a twin-turbo 4-liter V8 to a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo with a hybrid.
Jeez.
I am not stoked about that.
That's a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, it is going to give you a stupid amount of horsepower. Like, ridiculous. It's going to have 671 horsepowers with 752 pound-feet of torque.
Jeez.
So, performance-wise, yeah, it's a hell of a car. Sure. But it ruins AMG for me.
That car was kind of... All the character around that car was that engine.
Oh, 100%.
All the character.
I could not agree with you anymore. It's so ridiculous how the whole point of a Mercedes AMG, specifically a C63, was its V8.
Right.
That's why you bought it. That's the only reason why it ever would have potentially entered the scope of a car that I would ever buy.
Yes. It could blend in. It could be a normal Mercedes, sit around in the C-Class. You could have luxury. It could be nice. It could be sweet. And then you stood in it, and it turned into a better-sounding Mustang.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yes.
It was like a refined Mustang.
Yes.
It was amazing. And now it's not.
But apparently it's faster.
It's much faster. Yeah, the 0 to 60 in 3.3 seconds, according to the article. Which,
jeez.
Yeah, and another bummer here. It's no longer rear-wheel drive. It's all-wheel drive.
This car will still work for the people that didn't get the old one. It will not work for the people who did get the old one.
I would never buy it.
You're not the crowd for this.
You're right.
But the businessman that does not know about the old one and the old Mustang sounds that it had and the rumble and the character, they'll have no problem putting down $150K for this.
It starts at 85 grand, but it will go up to about 150 depending on how you spec it.
Yeah.
No. And not only that, it's freaking heavy.
How heavy?
It's over 4,600 pounds.
Whoa. It's very heavy.
And it's a smaller car.
Yeah.
Right? This is not, we're not talking about an S-Class, the big limousine, right? We're not talking about a Jeep. We're not talking about a truck. This is a smaller sedan.
Is the battery system, is it a hybrid battery? Did you happen to catch?
It's a plug-in hybrid EV.
Okay. So it does have batteries in it.
Yeah.
Okay. That's why it's heavy.
That's how they get that power
Gotcha.
out of a 4-cylinder.
And that's why it's heavy.
Yeah. I just don't, which means it's going to handle like dog shit.
Right.
I don't care what torque vectoring you have. You're not going to get the V8 sound. You're not going to get the tail happiness. Mercedes is trying to take themselves too seriously here. The whole point of a Mercedes AMG was to have a laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If it didn't make you giggle, then why buy it? Like, that car's not going to make me giggle. It'll make me go, wow, that's very fast.
Right.
But it sounds horrible.
You're killing the character of the car.
And it's probably going to understeer like mad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's 4,600 pounds.
Right. We're just going a straight line.
Yeah, it just, no. Real quick, I want to ask you, how do you feel about the looks?
It looks like an S-Class or a C-Class Mercedes. That's fine.
So, it does. I agree. But I don't like the new design language Mercedes has taken.
What do you mean?
It's very droopy.
Oh, just the overall shape?
The shape, the way they've designed everything is just droopy.
Yeah, I guess back...
Like it kind of just looks... bleh.
The older iterations of this were more aggressive looking.
Yeah, it just looks droopy.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Do you think it's a aerodynamicist kind of thing?
Oh, it's an EV aerodynamicist's wet dream.
Right.
It's droopy. I don't like it.
Reduce drag.
It just...
Increase
you
range.
can reduce drag in ways that make the car not look droopy. I feel like the way they design the front grille and air ducts, it just droops and falls off. It just... bleh. It looks like one of those creatures you pull up from the deep.
The overall shape of the front to the rear does start to remind me of the EQS, which is kind of a bubble looking thing.
A droop.
Yeah.
It's a droop.
I mean, it's probably the most efficient way to push through the air, and the regulations are pushing them in that direction where they gotta be talking about range and miles per gallon.
All right, I'm gonna say it. Abolish all regulations.
For this car, I'd be down because this car's character was unbelievable.
Did you ever get to drive the naturally aspirated V8? So 2 generations ago.
I didn't get to drive it, but I got to drag race a buddy who had one, and I'm pretty sure I lost my hearing in my right ear for a week straight.
Correct. I did get the chance to drive one briefly, and I remember we were very gently cruising at like 40 miles an hour, and then I stood in it. And it just was this snarling, angry, mean, just tear your head off noise that came from the depths of hell.
Yep.
I will not get, I don't think I can physically get past it. I can't. I just can't get past it. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So, yeah, that's the new C63, the new AMG.
All right.
So
what else we got?
Let's move on to something a little spicier. It's a car manufacturer that you would know for not making cars, but for making motorcycles. KTM.
Okay.
KTM is making a road car.
Okay.
It's called the XBow GT XR. Sounds like a printer.
Don't they race the XBow?
That's exactly where I was hoping you were going to go with that. Yeah. They raced the XBow in like the Nürburgring 24-hour, just a 24H series, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, yes. And they're making a road version of it.
Okay.
So, quick little tidbit here about the KTM XBow GT XR. It is pretty mental, frankly. You get in by opening the entire, like, skull of it.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy to look at. It doesn't have doors.
No.
It looks like the cockpit of a fighter jet opening from the front, like...
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it.
That's how I would see it, right?
All the windows, the front window, the side windows are all like encapsulated in a shell that opens forward to the hood forward.
I got to admit, if I drove that car, I would get a fighter jet helmet and I would put Maverick in the bottom of it, right? And then I get a little dummy and put him right behind me and call him Goose. And then
Of course you would.
Of course.
Of course you would.
How can you not have fighter jet pilot fantasies when you drive a car that has a cockpit looking thing like that?
I know that the racing version of this car also has that to get in and out of.
It's so cool. It's so unnecessary, but it's so cool.
It's different. It's cool, though.
Yeah. So far, in terms of the looks, I do like the looks of it.
It's sleek.
It looks aggressive. It
It
looks
does
angry.
It has a very unique front to it.
It looks angry.
Yeah.
Right? So this new KTM XBow GT XR, it's essentially a road-going version of that GT2 race car that we see racing the 24H series. And it uses Audi's 2.5-liter 5-cylinder that comes out of the Audi RS3.
Okay.
I adore that engine. I love that engine so much.
Why?
Because it's just weird. And it's like you took an R8 and you opened up the hood. Well, I guess the trunk, or not the trunk, but the trunk, right? And you took its V10 and you literally just sawed it in half.
All right.
You take one bank of the R8's V10 and you go, there's your engine. You can have that. Make it so.
And it works.
And it's amazing. And it puts out stupid amounts of power.
Heck yeah.
There's a guy locally that has an Audi RS3 that's tuned to like 1,000 horsepower.
What?
It's mental.
Oh, my goodness.
It's like an 8-second quarter mile.
Jeez.
It's crazy. But this new KTM, it does borrow that Audi RS3 2.5-liter 5-cylinder. They did crank it up to produce 493 horsepower.
Whoa.
Which isn't a lot in today's supercar standards. But when you compare it to the weight, it is many lots and many tons.
What's the weight?
Only 2,491.
Oh.
Less than 2,500 pounds.
That's less than my
with
car.
Almost 500 horsepower.
Jeez. I think that's the right. You wouldn't want much more.
No, that's the thing. You're okay. In today's supercar world, right, it's okay to have 1,000 horsepower.
Right.
But that means your car is going to weigh 5,000 pounds. It's also okay to have 500 horsepower. But that means your car has to weigh less than 3,000 pounds, right? This slides nicely into that side.
Yep.
The lightweight. I bet you this car would be an absolute hoot to drive.
It feels so nimble.
Yeah. I'm sure this car would just be absolutely hilarious to drive.
Right.
There's a little a statistic in here that the weight of this KTM is only 300 pounds more than the first generation Mazda Miata.
Yeah, it's a little go-kart, basically.
With 5 times the power.
Yes. That's awesome.
It's a Miata times 5.
That opens like a fighter jet.
Yes. I want one so bad. It's so cool.
Yeah, they're super cool.
The problem is it's most likely going to be Europe only.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Now, there's potential for it to possibly be seen over here, but I do fear that European safety or American safety regulations will keep it, like NHTSA and all that, right? The National Highway Transportation Safety Administration.
You got to crash X number of them, yada, yada.
Yeah, that's the thing. By the way, it does use the same 7-speed DSG that you get in the Audi as well.
Okay.
That transmission. But moving on. You ready for the price?
Maybe.
Huh.
I'm kind of worried about this.
You should be. Well, it's not cheap.
Okay.
It's the American equivalent of $286,000.
Ooh, okay.
But that does come with some rareness.
How rare?
Because they've stated they're only going to make a maximum of 100 per year.
Whoa, very rare.
So it's quite rare.
Very rare. Mm-hmm. Okay, that does change the calculation kind of a lot. Yeah. I do think that that's a reasonable number in that case.
Yeah, if they were going to make 1,000 a year, well, then that's ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
But if they're only making 100 of them a year, yeah, I could justify $250,000 for that.
If they're only making 100, there's no way they bring one to the U.S.
Yeah, well, hold on a minute. You never know. You never know.
You have to crash like 3 or 4 of them.
Well, there's that.
To get them street legal in the U.S.
I hate that so much.
Yeah. It's cool. It's a super cool car. I want to see this brought to racetracks.
I want to see this on track days everywhere.
Yes.
Because that's where this car would thrive.
That's where it was developed.
Yeah. 100%. It's amazing. Apparently, I saw that little quote in there that the original KTM XBow, they did set a lap around Virginia International Raceway at 252.3. And that was pretty quick for VIR.
Yeah, that is quick.
So you never know.
Neat
Maybe we see one.
Neat to see the crossbow coming away from the racing scene and onto the street scene, because that is only a car I have seen in the racing scene, and I really wanted to see one on the street because they look crazy.
Yeah, they're pretty mental.
Yeah.
So that's all the news I got for you. Do you have anything else there, Derek?
I do not.
All right, so that's going to wrap us up for episode 120. Thanks so much for watching and listening. If you're watching on YouTube, please leave a thumbs up and drop a comment on the video. Let us know. Do you want to see the KTM? Or also, let us know, would you buy a 4-cylinder Mercedes AMG C63? I know my answer to that. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button while you're there. And I know you get your phone out. Go ahead and follow us on social. Facebook is We Are Auto. Instagram is WeAreAuto_. YouTube is We Are Auto. And our website is weareauto.io. Please do check it out. Got some good stuff out there. So again, thanks so much. Catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.